Williamson, Inc. serves as Williamson County's Chamber of Commerce and Office of Economic Development. In partnership with the Williamson Herald, WBKM Radio, they brought together Meet the Candidates, an interview series open to all candidates for this office to help inform the community. During these conversations, candidates will share their views, and I may also share some of my own opinions as part of the discussion. Those opinions are my own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Williamson, Inc., the Williamson Herald, WBKM, or any organizations involved in hosting this series. You can find additional voter resources, including these interviews and written candidate profiles, at williamsonchamber.com/vote.
Drason Beasley has a very important job in Williamson County. He works with kids. You work for juvenile court, is that right?
I do. I'm a court administrator there. Been there for about probably more than 25 years.
So now you currently serve on the school board.
That is correct.
You know that only one member of the school board ran for re-election?
Yes, that's what I heard. I saw that in the Williamson Herald the other day.
And you declined to run for re-election because you wanted to run for county commission.
Yes, sir, in the 12th district.
That's a tough job. Now, believe it or not, I believe school board's tougher. But why do you want to be a county commissioner?
Yeah, I'm really excited about running for county commission right now. I love the community that I serve. I've been serving this community for well over 20 years in several capacities. I've been working with at-risk youth for over 25 years, for sure. I've been working with mental health patients and families for that long as well. Also, I've been serving with on the school board, as you mentioned, for about 4 years now, and I've really loved that position and been able to be an impact and influence on our crown jewel of our county, which is the school system. And then also, my wife and I, we had started a nonprofit called Rainbow, and we've helped a lot of grieving families that have lost children at a viable birth for over at approximately almost 20 years in this community. So my heart is in this community. I've raised my family in this community. We've bought homes in this community, even though it wasn't affordable at times, but we've made it work. And I want to be a part of the legislative body that of the community that I love to make an impact and make decisions in our community.
I have to go here first.
Sure.
Because we have to get this out of the way.
Okay.
You are a county employee.
That's correct.
Is this a conflict of interest, or are there ways you can deal with that conflict of interest?
Yes, I believe there's a lot of ways that I can definitely be an impact. It's not a, as you know, with the budget for Williamson County, a big part of the budget, of course, goes to the school system, but there was a resolution that got approved for funding for the Triple J project. So, of course, a lot of people have asked me, in the past, are you able to vote on those? I'll still have to learn that. But I would like to be an influence on cutting the budget however we can with this new building that I've been part of subcommittees on. But from my understanding, I checked with the voting commission, and it's not an issue at all with me being on the county commission and being a current county employee.
I think all you have to do is raise your hand and say, I work for Williamson County.
Absolutely.
And that fulfills the law.
Thank you. That will not be hidden.
You've talked about juvenile justice.
Yes.
You've talked about schools. You call the school system our crown jewel.
That's correct.
The place we're doing this interview from right now will tell you right off the bat that's what they use to recruit businesses to Williamson County with.
Yes.
We got the best schools. I don't think there's any doubt about that. where are other areas that you can make a difference where we can elevate those to the status of Williamson County schools? It took Rogers Anderson, his solid commitment said, we're going to put schools first. Well, look what happened. Now, what do we need to put first?
I would guarantee you the children are the future of this county, and I will say that I think that we need to continue putting our funding into the schools, and obviously first was supporting the reimbursing the teachers appropriately. As I've been on the school board, I've definitely been an advocate for the teachers and increasing their salaries. So I have been on the school board, so I definitely would agree with that. Another, possibility could be is that with our Williamson Health, supporting our healthcare system. All of my beautiful babies, I believe, were born at Williamson Health. I think was medical at the time, but health now. I think we have state-of-the-art EMS systems right now. I don't want to lose that at all. So if you ask me what else was the next priority that we would fund, and don't let me forget law enforcement. I'm a huge advocate for law enforcement, so I definitely would love to support our law enforcement agencies and our EMS, emergency management group. Don't want to leave them out, making sure they have everything they need to keep us safe. Because this is one of the safest communities I believe I've ever lived in, and this is why I'm raising my family here.
It's part of our quality of life.
Absolutely.
Which is the next topic coming up at Leadership Franklin. That's where I got to really know. I've known this man for quite a while, but I got to know him in Leadership Franklin, which is a future-based organization.
Yes.
You brought up just a moment ago. You're running as a Republican.
That's correct. Yep.
Because you are one.
I am, bona fide.
But sometimes you don't act like one.
Now, why would you say that, Tom?
Well, no. I mean, you watch how you conduct yourself in meetings.
That's correct.
And from that standpoint, you impress me as a listener. Now, see, I've got to reel some things back in because I'm doing what I told you I should not be doing. But from that standpoint, I think it's a lot easier to be nonpartisan on the school board than it is on the county commission.
Yes.
How do you handle that sometimes?
Well, definitely I'm a conservative. However, I take whatever problem that we have, and then I try to think about it reasonably and think about what is the best approach to resolve this issue. I don't oftentimes allow my hand to be forced in voting one way or the other, okay? But I like to have a common sense approach about what we're voting on. So if it's putting the county more in debt, I'm not voting for that. If we have inappropriate materials in school, I don't want that. My kids are all in high school, middle school, and elementary school in this county. So I'm going to give the best vote and my best thought about what is the best decision for those children or for this county, and that's how I usually vote.
I came up in a day when the school board and the county commission did not get along because the county commission had the purse strings.
That's correct.
And the school board had the kids.
That's right.
And but something happened. An attitude of let's just do what's right.
Right.
And look where it led us.
It's in a good place.
It's in a very good place. Yeah. How do we keep that in a good place? Knowing now we hadn't had to build a school now in 2-3 years.
Yes.
Well, we got to build a jail, and that's going to cost more than any high school ever cost in this community. There are other things that we need to have. Talk to me about what would convince you to vote for a tax increase? What would it take? Not that I'm endorsing one, but I want to know the people sitting in those seats are going to think about everything.
That's a pretty difficult question to answer. However, if the quality of life is in jeopardy in our community, and a tax increase due to we need some emergency management help, law enforcement help, if that's the case, it'll be very difficult for me to vote for a tax increase. Okay, because I want low taxes. I don't want our taxes to increase by any means. So that I'll have to take each situation as it comes and see what's best for this county and this community. But right off the bat, I can't think of anything that would make me vote for a tax increase at this time.
On the school board, you've seen the state's #1 system get robbed of some teachers. Somebody came along, offered them more money. In your job, you've seen caseworkers being stolen.
Yes.
And that's not appropriate. It's the American way.
Right.
Everybody ought, if they can make more money, they ought to do it. Sometimes it's difficult to balance. Of course, you talk about a tax rate. It's something pretty complicated. But from that standpoint, you're saying it would take something
Major.
Pretty plain, pretty clear.
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty evident for the community to see that we needed a tax increase. But I would fight for anything that, however I can, to not have a tax increase.
What are you most proud of?
My wife and my children. Unless you're being specific about something politically or something.
No, because we need to know about your wife and your children, because that explains a lot about you.
Yes.
You're young and school age?
Yes. My youngest is 10. She just turned 10 March 11th. And she's wonderful, beautiful, loves to play lacrosse and basketball, and she does gymnastics. So we stay busy in my household. And also I have my middle son, and he is 14. He'll be 15 this summer. And he plays lacrosse, football, track, and basketball team, which that's very competitive to be able to make those teams in this district here in Williamson County. It's not easy to make those teams. And then my daughter, she's a senior this year at Page High School. And I'm very proud of her. She's slated to attend UTC in the fall. And she plays lacrosse. And she's been playing lacrosse since she was in the 6th grade. So that's been a new sport to our family, but I'm very proud of them.
What are you most concerned about?
In what way? My kids, or county commission, or school board, or?
Put them all in the same bag, because local government begins with the school board, or it begins with the board of mayor and aldermen. Then it gets to the the county commission. What is on the county commission's agenda? You've got your eye on.
I have my own right now. I've been looking at the annexation of the county. I've been reading some about Williamson Health, maybe selling to someone else. That's a huge concern for me, and I know it would have to go through the county commission in order for it to be approved. I'm concerned about the Triple J project. That's, with the cost that we're spending on that. Even though I'll be impacted on that, I'm working with subcommittees with that group as well. And we've made a lot of cuts. The building has came from what would your dream building be to this is what the budget says, that because of the cost of construction are going up every day. So just making cuts on that and seeing that whole project come to fruition.
It's interesting to get evaluation forms back from Leadership Franklin students.
Okay.
Number one, the most popular stop the whole year is the City of Franklin water reclamation center,
Yes.
the sewer plant.
Yes.
They don't like me to call it that, but it's the
That's
water
what it is.
reclamation center.
Yes.
There's a lot of money in that piece of ground. New jail is going to be a lot of money to do it right. Schools, from that standpoint, and if it seems like I'm coming back around to money, I think that's the most important thing a county commissioner does.
Yes.
Is set the tax rate.
Mhm.
And at 75 myself, I'm pretty sensitive to the tax rate.
Sure.
Where can we expect to be in, say you serve 2 terms?
Okay.
Say you get elected and you serve 2 terms. Where are we going to be? Right now we have $1.1 billion in debt.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
But you look at what that credit card bill
Mhm.
has gotten us, and it's close to $100 billion. 9-to-1 return. I'm not asking you to go out and go crazy with that credit card.
Sure.
But at the same time, I think there is where we come such a long way, that costs real money.
Costs real money. I agree.
Now, you can come back at me and say, yeah, and it's your money, and you'd be right. And what you're here to do today is convince people to vote for Drason Beasley.
Yes, and we are. Me as a county commissioner, I definitely understand that I'm working for the taxpayers. That's evident. And so right now I don't have any numbers in front of me other than I know I believe it's projected by 2040, I think Williamson County will double in its population. So we have to just strategically plan and be intentional.
That's only 14 years from now.
I know, double.
Okay.
Double.
All right.
But we have to be intentional and strategically plan for the infrastructure for the influx of individuals that are moving to Williamson County.
Well, you've just told me in 14 years from now, something's going to be bigger.
Yeah.
I guess schools will be bigger, the jail will be bigger. We need bigger cemeteries. It's good to see you. What are you doing to get elected?
Well, I am, honestly, we're doing a lot of meet and greets. I am putting together different, being a part of forums that I can speak about my ideas, talk about my passions and how I want to help my community. So that's what we're doing right now. I have a running mate. Brian Clifford is a running mate of mine. And so he and I have been running together and knocking on doors. And I think that's the biggest part, knocking on doors and making sure individuals know to come out. I believe it's May 5th. There it is, May 5th, to come out and vote.
Well, you're still on the ballot, so that means you must be bona fide.
Yes, sir, I am.
Thank you. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, sir. It's always a pleasure speaking with you. I well respect you. So thank you.
Well, I'm going to be one of those who's going to need that bigger cemetery.